Good morning. It's Tuesday, November 30th. I'm Duarte Geraldino.
And I'm Shamita Basu. This is Apple News Today. Each morning, hear about some of the most fascinating stories in the news and how the world's best journalists are covering them.
In May of this year, Ian Urbina was leading a group of journalists on a reporting trip in Libya. While he was at his hotel in Tripoli,
I heard a knock on my door, and a group of 12 armed men pushed me back, yell at me to get on the floor, gun muzzle to my forehead.
the armed men broke Urbina's ribs, causing kidney damage. He also says they beat several of his colleagues. Then they took the journalists to a secret prison.
We were held for about 7 days in isolation cells, interrogated very intensely.
Urbina runs the Outlaw Ocean Project. It's a nonprofit journalism organization covering environmental and human rights concerns at sea. He and his team were in Libya reporting on a shadow system stopping migrants from making it to Europe. Because you see, when migrants from the Middle East or sub-Saharan Africa want to get to Europe, they often turn to traffickers in Libya. These smugglers demand large payments, and it's a dangerous journey, often in overcrowded, unsafe boats across the Mediterranean to Italy. Many people don't survive, but they're still willing to try. They're fleeing war, climate change, and poverty in large numbers.
The EU decided they had enough of this and wanted to block migrants from reaching European shores, and so has created a sort of proxy force. This is a multi-billion-dollar effort, largely funded by the EU generally and spearheaded by Italy.
As Urbina explains, for the past several years, the European Union has been equipping and training the Libyan Coast Guard to patrol the Mediterranean. And bear this in mind, this isn't like the U.S. Coast Guard. The United Nations accused it of having links to militias. The EU supplied this group with communications equipment and speedboats.
And those boats patrol the Mediterranean, get intel from the sky, and find the migrants, capture them, bring them back, and put them in this, what amounts to a gulag, a pretty brutal place. 12 to 15 prisons where tens of thousands of migrants are at any given moment held captive, no access to lawyer, and pretty brutal human rights conditions.
Urbina told us just how bad the conditions are for migrants in these detention centers. One center has just one toilet for every 100 people. There isn't enough space for everyone to sleep, so they take turns on thin floor pads.
And twice a day, these people are marched into a courtyard, but they're forbidden from looking up at the sky or talking. Food is served in these communal bowls on the ground. Urbina spoke to detainees who told him guards beat people, sometimes worse.
I can't emphasize just how brutal and illegal and inhumane the situation is on the ground in Libya for migrants, and quite specifically in the detention grid. Murder, rape, extortion, forced labor are routine.
The EU's Emergency Trust Fund for Africa told Urbina conditions the migrants are being held in are unacceptable. It says it sends money to provide support to migrants and doesn't directly fund detention sites. But one member of the European Parliament told Urbina, if it weren't for the EU financing the Libyan Coast Guard, we wouldn't see migrants being intercepted and detained in these centers.
You're going to want to read Urbina's reporting in the Apple News app because it provides such a unique window into this world. He ultimately got out of Libya, but knows many migrants are not so lucky.